summertime and the living is breezy. Oh, hello. Thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa live. I'm Lisa. This is definitely live and it is almost summertime. Is anybody else besides me so excited they want to just smash their, what do you call this, spoon rest? Just kidding. I like that spoon rest. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started, please say hi, type in the comments, let me know that you're here, that you can see me, and that you can hear me. Hi, Rob. Okay, yay. So what does summertime mean to you? Maybe it's lounging by the pool or slurping a slushie or a lemonade. Well, for me, it means berries and fruits. I'm so lucky that when I was growing up, we always had a strawberry patch. And although I didn't really appreciate it at the time, what I wouldn't give now to go out into the garden and pick fresh strawberries. Hi, Susan. Remember giving me the bowl and sending me out to the garden to pick fresh strawberries? Also, when I'm home around this time of year, back in Iowa, my mom has an organic orchard and we get to pick cherries. That is so fun. Now here in Asheville, I'm so lucky that my next door neighbors have 3 amazing, beautiful blueberry bushes that are taller than I am. So to me, summertime means picking these amazing fruits. However, even if you don't have your own blueberry bushes or strawberry patches or organic orchards, you can still make what I'm gonna make today, which is berry almond muffins. You do not have to pick your own berries. You can buy them at the store. You can buy them at the farmer's market. You can use strawberries that you bought at the farmer's market. In fact, I picked up some amazing strawberries at the River Arts District Farmer's Market just yesterday. But I'm gonna put the blueberries that I picked in my next door neighbor's blueberry bushes in the berry almond muffins. You can use any kind of muffins, even frozen berries are fantastic. So let's dig in. I've got a few things that I wanna show you. First, we have to do just a little bit of prep, which is not always my forte. Oh, we got some barking dogs. This recipe, berry almond muffins, is plant-based. So everything that I'm gonna be using today is gonna be vegan. You can, of course, modify it however you choose, but if you've never made vegan, plant-based muffins, I invite you to try, and the recipe is at my website. While you're there, please go to my recipe, or to the recipe section of my website, lisamurphyllc.com, and I've got some new pictures up. Let me know what you think. And the recipe for the berry almond muffins is in the recipe section. Okay, so this pre-prep that we have to do involves souring some milk. So in the old days, this would have called for buttermilk, but I like to use non-dairy milk. So I've got some soy milk, plain unsweetened soy milk in here that I've already soured by simply adding, in fact, can you see how it started to curdle? So I did this first thing, so it would get good and curdly. You can add a tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar to your non-dairy milk to curdle it and make a plant-based buttermilk. The other thing you want to do ahead of time is get your flaxseed eggs going. So this is what I use instead of eggs. Ground up flaxseed that you add water to. And the recipe, the proportions for all of this is on my website in the recipe section. Again, it's lisamurphyllc.com. And do let me know what you think of my new pictures while you're there. So this gets kind of gooey and thick, and this is what we use for eggs in plant-based baking. At least it's what I do. So not only do you not have the fat and the cholesterol associated with the eggs, but you have all the amazing benefits of the flax, which is fiber, omega-3s. Yep. So you just do those 2 things, and then you can set those aside and then get the rest of your ingredients prepared. So 2 cups of flour. You can use any kind of flour that you like. I hope you can see, I like to use a combination of whole spelt flour and buckwheat flour. Buckwheat flour is gluten-free, but spelt flour is not. So if you are a true celiac, you might want to use all buckwheat. I've done that before. It just makes them a little crumbly. You can also use a combo of the buckwheat and your favorite gluten-free flour. Anyway, just experiment, have some fun, see what works for you. But this is my favorite combo, all whole grain, nearly gluten-free, and lots of fantastic protein in the spelt flour. And since spelt is, one more thing about the spelt flour, actually let me show you. Since spelt is an ancient grain, even though it isn't technically gluten-free, it hasn't been like hybridized and genetically modified as much as our wheats have. So this might not bother you, but of course if you're celiac, if you are truly allergic to gluten, you'll want to use a gluten-free. Look at, this is the buckwheat flour. I just think it's such a cool color. It's almost kind of blue and it's got like a really nice nutty taste. All right, so I've got my flours. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put all the dry ingredients in here. That's probably the way you're supposed to do it. I'm using cane sugar, and yes, there is sugar in this. However, as we're talking about in my Nourish Yourself While Slaying Your Sugar Dragon course right now, which, by the way, it's not too late to sign up if you're interested in that. Shoot me a message. I like to skip all the unnecessary added sugar so that I can have a little bit of sugar in things like my homemade muffins or, you know, your grandmother's chocolate chip cookies, right? So skip the added sugar and save it for where it belongs. Baking powder, a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt is a whole food. Remember, we get our excess sodium from processed and convenience foods, not your home cooking. Yeah, so that's my dry ingredients ready to go. I've got my soured milk, and I'm gonna use some oil. Not too much, just a little. And then I like to put all of my wet ingredients together to add to the dry. These are berry almond muffins, so I'm gonna use some almond extract. You could use vanilla, that would be good too. Just adding this all to my wet. Ellie, hi! Where are you? Where have you been and where are you going? And what kind of berries do you like to pick up there? And I bet you've got blueberries up there in Minnesota, don't you? Okay, now back to my flakes. You can see this is kind of like a juggling act. See how this is starting to get like nice and thick and kind of gooey? I'm gonna add that to the rest of my wet ingredients and give it a stir. You know, it's really cool is I absolutely love this muffin dough, kind of like chocolate chip cookie dough. And even though I never worried about it, if you are worried about that raw egg thing, guess what? There's no raw eggs in here, so I always leave just a little bit left in the bowl so that I can lick the bowl and the spoon, and it's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've got my whole grain flours in here, a little bit of cane sugar. Skip the unnecessary added sugar and enjoy it in things like homemade muffins. Baking powder, salt. Remember, the recipe's on my website, lisamurphyllc.com. Let me know what you think of my new glamour shots while you're in there. And then my wet ingredients were soured. I use soured soy milk. You can use any kind of milk. A little bit of oil. Almond extract. Ooh, I can really smell that almond extract. And my flaxseed eggs. Okay, now here come the goodies. Look at these berries. Can you believe that I picked these with my very own hands off of my neighbor's blueberry bush? Thank you so much, Sam and Cam. Anyway, I'm gonna toss these in. You can use any kind. Fresh, frozen, sliced strawberries would be fantastic. Like the strawberries that I bought, which we ate almost all of them at the River Arts District Farmers Market yesterday. Hi, Joe. Oh my gosh. Speaking of picking fruits, Joe, I remember picking cherries off of your tree. And by the way, sour cherries are delicious in this muffin recipe that you can find at my website. Okay, so see how the blueberries are in there? They look fantastic. Now, these are blueberry almond muffins. Now, sometimes, and you've probably seen me and heard me reference this, I do make my own non-dairy milk, like my own almond milk. I didn't today because I was kind of in a pinch. But when I do, I save the pulp. And this is from some almond milk that I made earlier. Those of you who do milk your own almonds, oh, Ellie made some healthy coleslaw last weekend. Ellie, I am so glad to hear. I'd love to know the recipe. Jimmy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, if you do milk your own, oh, you did? You made my recipe? Oh, A+ for Ellie. Bonus points for you. Oh my gosh. If you make one of my recipes, be sure and let me know and I'll give you a shout out. Actually, Ellie, I would love for you, the next time you make that, to take a picture of yourself and post it on social media and tag me at Lisa Murphy LLC. That's right, my coleslaw recipe does not have any mayo in it. No mayo. Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of, back to the program. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with the comments. Rob says, nice glamour shots on my website. Yes, thank you to Sabrina the Spice Witch, the Sabrina Hill. She's an amazing photographer. I want all the rest of you to go to my website and see, tell me what you think of my new glamour shots. Okay, anyway, back to the muffins, the magic muffins. This is almond pulp. If you don't make your own milk, you can just use some chopped almonds, chopped nuts, anything at all. Oh my gosh, I love all the comments. Keep it coming, it's what makes this fun. Okay. Now, I think I learned in home ec that you should not over stir your muffin batter because it does something undesirable. Oh my goodness. But you do not want any chunks of that almond pulp in there, or globs of it. Okay, so I've got a muffin pan here. You can use silicone cups. I think those work really well. You can line them with paper. I'm trying to eliminate single-use anything, so I just gave them a little bit of an oil with the oil that I use for my muffins. Oil is super confusing. Does anybody else agree? The oils that I keep, this is kind of messy, isn't it? The oils that I keep in my house are olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, or plain regular old olive oil if I'm going to bake with it and I don't want it to taste like olives. Avocado oil for things like salad dressings and sauteing, and then maybe some sesame oil for baking. You know, the seed oils are handy and they do have some benefit, but they're also very inflammatory. So again, it's super confusing. Just do your best. Hi Holly, thanks for joining. Okay, so these are the muffins. I know they don't look very pretty and you can clean it up. And remember, because there's no raw egg in there, you can lick your finger. But fortunately for all of you, I made some. Oh, whoa, that's one of the strawberries. I made some ahead of time. These strawberries are amazing from the River Arts Farmers District. Look at, don't they look pretty? So I got some strawberries here. You could put strawberries in your muffin. I've got some sweet cherries. You could put sour cherries if you have access to those. You can put any kind of berry that you want. I made blueberries. I hope you all know, in case you don't, blueberries are like such an amazing superfood. Good for your brain health, good for your eyes. Look at those. Oh my gosh. Love it. They're so delicious, but don't take it from me. Check out the recipe on my website, lisamurphyllc.com. Let me know what you think of my new glamour shots while you're there. Thank you for joining me and my blueberries for Veg with Lisa Live. Happy summer. Summertime.